allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alright, so for agenda changes and updates under new business, item B, we got Michelle Romines in there is a 1.0 FTE, but she's 0.7 FTE.
Yeah, my mistake.
Just strike that out. There's about one. Did everybody get a chance to go over the organizational meeting minutes from May 11th?
Yep.
A motion to approve, the organizational meeting minutes from May 11th?
I will make a motion to approve the organizational meeting minutes from May 11th.
Alright, got a first from Sarah, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Julie seconds. Board comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Everybody get a chance to go over the regular board meeting minutes for May 11th? Alright, do I have a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes for May 11th?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Lily has a first, do I have a second?
Second.
Olivia seconds. Board comment?
Nope.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Did everybody get a chance to read the executive session meeting minutes for May 11th? Alright, do I have a motion to approve this executive session meeting minutes?
I will make a motion to approve the executive session meeting minutes.
Perfect, I have a first from Sarah, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Olivia second. Board comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And did you guys get a chance to go through the warrants, from today? Through June 8th? Yes. Alright, do I have a motion to approve the warrants through June 8th?
I'll make a motion to approve the warrants through June 8th.
Alright, Julie has it first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Julie seconds. Board comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Assuming we don't have any public comment? Any communications? Anything? Okay, just make sure. No communication?
No.
Alright. Student rep reserve, no?
Yeah, right.
Staff rep?
Happy summer.
Woohoo! PTSO report?
I do wanna say, I still have not gotten a price list from the fireworks guy, and I was slightly freaking out, so I texted him again, said, hey, just wanna make sure we're on your list, so we could have fireworks, and he said, oh yeah, absolutely, I'm like, okay, so, but if we don't get fireworks, we still have a fair amount. We have some to sell, just not as much of the bigger ones, we have a lot of little stuff, so hopefully he'll get back to me very soon.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
He's gonna call me like every hour on the hour.
Yeah, well, I had emailed in the beginning of May, Rick, who was the main guy. And then Chase works in the warehouse and he's usually the one I deal with, like picking up and all that stuff. So then I texted him in May and he said, yeah, we'll get that to you. Our last container is coming next week. And I said, okay. And I still hadn't heard anything, so I texted him again. We'll see.
Perfect, thanks, Sarah.
Yeah.
AD report?
So we just came through the last week of school, which entailed a lot of football. The senior boys and Peyton headed to Custer for the All-Star football game, which was super fun. And then the football team went to MSU for their football camp, which they looked really sore when I saw them, but I think they had a really good time and learned a lot. They were really tired, but overall they said they learned a lot and it was really valuable and they're just pumped for the upcoming season. So after that, I get to go back to Billings a third time this weekend for the summer caucus, and I'm excited. We're gonna get a lot of scheduling done for this fall. I'm hoping to finish up our football and volleyball schedules so that we have those posted, and then finalize basketball schedule as well. While I'm at the caucus, I'm really excited to fix our Arbiter account, which is where we do all of our scheduling for referees. All the coaches do their certification and online trainings for each season. When I took over, it was passed on to me incorrectly. so we've had a lot of issues when it comes to scheduling and getting those certifications done, and then the state seeing that they're finished, so I'm pumped to get that fixed and that it's up and running for the school year, so we hopefully don't have any more speed bumps. I mentioned it a couple meetings ago, but we are looking for this summer to finalize the uniform policy and the rotation in which we would implement that. So it would hopefully be a 4-year rotation, getting junior high uniforms, and then each season, that way it's more even across the board. That's what the state recommends that we do, so we're just looking to get something like that implemented here. And then also the donation form, it would just be a way for us to be able to track that if an organization such as basketball goes to one of our amazingly generous organizations in town, like, we can track what they're requesting for, when they requested it, and then when we get the money and where it would go. So that's something that we are working on to be able to implement those this coming fall. So hopefully we get those finished up over the summer and head into fall strong.
Okay. Thank you. Claire?
Okay, there's a lot. So we did the Bridge to Health Alliance, that open enrollment went really well. That was that second week in May. And so we got all of our employees who wanted coverage enrolled. And then we're working with Bridge to get the election set up in the accounting program so that they're invoiced properly. And the first invoice is due July 1st. And then I'm continuing to work with Carol on the budget for the 26-27 year. And we're hoping to have that, excuse me, I have a little cold. We're hoping to have that presented to the board in August. And then Tom's has a bus route that we're gonna approve later, hopefully. And then I'm gonna meet with Katrina on June 24th in Helena to get that approved by the county superintendent. And then we're currently working on, over the summer, a cash handling process. And it seems like things are kind of willy-nilly a little bit. So we want to tighten that up, and then I'm going to be attending a cash handling class at the Masbo conference next week, and hopefully can get some best practices from that and put that into place for this next school year. So that'll be exciting. And then we have CPR. I confirmed that CPR first aid training in August with a new contact out of, I think they're out of Sealy, so that'll be good. And then we had the final teacher payroll, which is a big project, and that was June, July, and August all paid out in June, on June 5th, so that was, huge. Took forever. And anyway, so we have gonna be attending Masbo next week in Billings for a week with Sarah Perez, and I think Claire's gonna be down there for a few days. So we might meet up with her in the evening or something, I don't know. And then still working on the time clock program, where we're hoping to have apps on each of the, staff's phones that they can clock, not so much that they can clock in and out, but mainly for the hourly, but for staff to request time off and get it sent to Tom electronically, so it'll limit the processing time for time cards, because that takes forever, because everything's paper right now, so, and it's been that way forever, so it'll be nice to kind of streamline that and cut that, work time. And then this summer I'm gonna be working on the trustees' financial summary, closing out the fiscal year and working again with Carol, because it was just the tip of the iceberg last year. So I'll be really, managing that with just her helping me, so that should be a lot of fun. And then traffic education is wrapping up. They did the TEL test today. All students passed, which was great, and then they'll start driving tomorrow through till the 17th or 18th, and then driving tests on the 19th, so that's great. And George Pierce, this is his last year teaching, and then, as you know, Derek's taking over. And then processing the end of year claims, we had quite a few, and we're gonna continue to do that because you guys approved for us to, just get those bills paid out, and then I'll work with you too on getting those checks signed, because Tom will be, won't be in the office so much. And then the lunch audit is complete, so we got that done for the next 3 years, which is great. Don't have to worry about that anymore. And then I just confirmed with, Connor at the elections office in the county that he received all of our certifications and everything's good to go for us. So that is my report. So,
Perfect. Thank you.
there's a lot going on.
Yes. Busy. Alright, superintendent report?
So, end of the year, I would say, Lincoln is, typical end of the year, you know, lots going on. You know, I was pleased with the awards and ceremonies and graduations, and if you have any feedback, please, you know, let us know. I did, grossly, overestimate, the length of the 8th grade graduation. So there's a little downtime between those, but the senior said, no, you know, we'd like, kind of like to have a separate one. Sometimes I guess it's been done, you know, together and things, so, yeah, you know, if next groups wants to do it that way, maybe estimate that closer, cause yeah, there's some downtime there, but, anyway, and, one big difference is Laura took over like the scholarship part of it, and so she kind of chunked them all together, so instead of, you know, a couple kids, you know, coming, up and down, you know, for this one, but any group that wants to present it to home is given that opportunity, so the ones in which she's asked to do that, then she just combine them and read them off, so that wouldn't be such a big part of it, even though that's a very important part of it. So, yeah, we appreciate the feedback. Lots of summer projects. One thing I want to attack is our handbooks, and bring, like, expect in July, you know, us to really have a lengthy discussion and to be agendized, you know, and therefore give me what you're thinking, and then, you know, I'll come with some ideas, but have it, you know, kind of a spot there for us to work on it, and then I could put that together, and then, you know, hopefully have it approved in August, so that we can go forward. So like, I'd really like a well-defined valedictorian, salutatorian, how kids earn that, you know, and what I did was I followed past practices this year, and but it never says like when you have to make a decision, and you have to make a decision before the semester's up. And so what I did is what I've typically done, but apparently in the past it's been done at the end of the first semester. I've never liked that, because some kids, woo, let's check out. So you do third quarter, but then, you know, I have to make sure the teachers know that, and the kids know that, the parents know that, so it's all fair. And also, we didn't have a tie, so between any of them, but apparently in years past, when there's been a tie, they've looked at A- versus A's kind of thing, but we have nothing in writing that says you can do that. So a 91% in truly in a GPA is the same as a 99%, you know, and stuff. That fortunately didn't come into play this year, but I would like to go in so we can, you know, specify that a little bit better. A question did come up, and MTDA is not available in the summer, but in a past district, if a kid wanted to retake a class to raise their GPA, so, you know, like our valedictorians and salutatorians graduate with, you know, just a few B's. If they want to do that, would we allow it? And I need some direction on that. If we allow it, then we have to make sure everybody knows that it's allowed. The case that was in front of us was it was a B achieved in an MTDA class. Well, they don't offer it over the summer, so you would have to take, you know, our previous policy said you'd have to take the exact same class, so you couldn't go off and, you know, just get some willy-nilly thing that, you know, you can just do on not to say, I mean, there's legitimate stuff online, but, you know, it would have to be the exact one, so I thought that was a good question, cause then, you know, with our juniors, I'd be immediately contacting people if, you know, we can't make those decisions and not make sure folks are informed. We could do that for the kid who wanted to raise their GPAs, but we could also have a policy that would say, no, it's your first go, great, you'll raise your GPA, but for our determination, we don't have to allow that. It was a good question, and we didn't necessarily have good language necessarily for me to give them a straight answer, so.
So retake the same course is what they're wondering?
Yeah, so.
Can you do that?
You can, I did hear back from MTDA today that said if they do take the same course, they're not allowed to turn in the same work, and that they will be double checking that when they turn assignments in. But there's not a lot offered in the summer, as
Is
far as
that like their
courses
first
goes.
grade?
What's
And then
that?
they go off the second one that they get?
Probably be just like any other where you would go off the better, is my guess, but that again, I think is up to district, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, and then also like what shows up on the transcript, you know, cause like, hey,
Sure.
you got enough here, or, you know, cause, you know, that's what typically you see, this kid failed it, so then they go back and they retake it, but yeah,
Yeah.
would it flat out disappear? We're checking is if we're allowed to even, you know, remove that and stuff, so those were good questions, and I think there's enough time to have the four well thought out answers on that. So anything else you're thinking, you know, I've had chat with a few folks, but you'd like to see, you know, specifically brought back on as far as the handbooks, that would be great. Couple good things like on, yeah, just, I think we could write some good policies on, you know, sometimes, you know, the kid's here every day, turns everything in, does great on their homework. To me, if that's all true, I don't know why they would get a D or an F. I just don't see how that's possible. Occasionally, a few individuals struggle with that concept. That's my philosophy, but, anyway, I think it deserves some conversation, so. Something got brought up, and we were talking about, you know, like the outdoor club being a third party, kind of you know, it's kind of a third party outside of the district. And unfortunately, you know, the person who brought it up, we had a good chance to kind of sit down. I'm not sure we totally agreed by the end of the conversation, but, so the outdoor club has all its funds with us. And it's our kids that go on the trip and things like that, but it, you know, I'll just pull the funds out and then keep them separate, like, well, no, this is no different than, you know, like our football team, or, you know, it's, you know, part of the activity accounts and stuff, so you know, I'm gonna be digging with Darcy to see if there's anything else, you know, there, because, well, it was established like, you know, like a handshake deal and stuff like that, and I just go, okay, I'm not a huge fan of those. I'm a huge fan of those, like, you know, hey, I'll come over and mow your lawn. Handshake deal, come over, follow through, you know, do that. But when we're talking, like, do you guys do those at banks, you know, kind of like, I mean, no, you have, and so, cause I think when people change and you do handshake deals, it's just like, it's best to clean those up as you go along, just so there's better understanding. And so, like, I think it ended on a good note, but it was really trying to say, hey, look, you're not going to be micromanaged, but the scope and what you do within this club has to be within the parameters of what's permissible at school, you know, because then there was, you know, discussion on like where to put the first Connex box, and it's like, no, that has to be a board decision. And so, like, anyone who chooses to house their funds with us, that becomes a school program to me. That's the way I look at it, because we're the ones then liable, you know, if things go wrong, you know, so I just thought that was, I think that needs to be cleared up in that area, and then look to, if there's any others. And just as far as I maybe not here, you know, on as regular basis over the summer, if you can't get a hold of me, get a hold of Darcy, she'll know, like, oh yeah, cause I kind of marked out, hey, there will be no self-service where we are here on these dates, you know, and stuff, so, you know, don't hesitate. I'd prefer to get contacted and deal with it right then and there than, well, Tom's not working today, I don't wanna bug him, no, I'd rather be bugged, cause usually I don't like things sitting there, you know, so, that's it, that's all I got.
Perfect.
Facility report?
I just have one thing, two things. First of all, let's think about this. After our tour the other day, I was just thinking, and you know those really nice heavy duty vinyl signs, well, you know, yeah, and, I just thought it'd be nice is if somebody parks over at the Sucker Creek entrance to, school trust land, if we posted some sort of sign. And so I drafted this very quickly, but, a sign that said something like, welcome to the Lincoln Public welcome to the Lincoln Public School District School Trust Land. In 1999, the community of Lincoln passed a school mill levy allowing the Lincoln Public School District to purchase a right-of-way deed easement into perpetuity from the state of Montana for this 27-acre parcel. Construction of a new school facility for the students of Lincoln is the intent of this easement and remains the vision of the school district today. The district enjoys utilizing this parcel for both outdoor education and recreation purposes. And next paragraph. The Lincoln Council for the Arts proposed to the district in 2013 a sculpture park where local environmental and industrial heritage inspired artwork is created. That's straight from their brochure. From this initial proposal, the Blackfoot Pathways Sculpture in the Wild began. The BSPW operates under an agreement with the school district and land use license with the Montana Department of Natural Resources and Conservation. We hope you enjoy your time here, Lincoln Public Schools. I just thought it'd be nice to have something there as you go through, you know, would be, you know, the primary entrance is, there's nowhere there that would anybody who's on there know that this is school trust land. And in fact, you know, a lot of people, you know, I've met in town, geez, I didn't know that, you know, it's kind of over time, you know, been forgotten, so.
Wasn't that in one of the original, when they first were hashing that out, wasn't there supposed to be a sign? And there never was?
I think you're right, yeah, I think you're, I think I've seen that, or I've heard that a time or two. So anyway, play around with that. I would like you to consider that, because I think it'd be nice, and I don't think it'd be, you know, like those vinyl signs or house, you know, grommets and, you know, stuff, and we can put it up on something. And this, just with that, I'll be wrapping up the year and seeing kind of like what our end of books look like. I don't want to lose momentum on working with JGA out of Billings. You know, $50,000 for them to come in, and I'd like a conversation though in July, because I'm much more leaning toward not spending $50,000 on getting this place assessed and another place, if really we want to focus on that, and then seeing if that price tag could come down considerably, because of you wouldn't be working here and going forward there, because I'd like to really push to start the momentum, to do the organizational behind. I don't think there's any way you would afford any of this without looking at a, facilities levy. So, I'll bring back more of that.
Thank you. Alright, new business. Renew contract for non-tenured teacher Derek Perez.
My bad. I forgot Derek with all the rest of them.
We won't tell him.
No, I told him already.
Alright, for the 2026-2027 school year, do I have a motion to renew the contract for Derek Perez?
Make a motion to renew contract for Derek Perez for the 26-27 school year.
Okay, so we got a first from Julie, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Olivia seconds. Board comments? All in favor say aye. Motion carried. Alright, higher classified for 2026 school year is, do you want me to go through each of these individually?
You don't have to.
Right,
If somebody can pull something out if they want.
yeah, I don't think that we have anybody that's related to anybody on here.
Sorry.
I mean, just checking.
I forget about that part.
Everybody's related. Alright, do I have a motion, to hire the classified staff for 2026 school year? For all the board, whoever wants to name them off. Whoever takes first motion gets that.
I will make a motion to hire Derek Perez, Tabor Wood, Trevor Tolan, Jen Daly, Linnell Story, Kaylin Mangle, Sarah Perez, Alyssa Gurney, and Michelle Redlands for the 26-27 school year.
That's good. First from Sarah, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Julie seconds. Call board comment? All in favor say aye. Motion carried. Summer maintenance custodial position?
Periodically, you guys do this, is hire an extra person to help out, and Derek requested this. And with a couple things. One, Derek's gone for a few weeks, due to his driver instructor training. And then two is, we do have additional work, cause I'm kinda committed by the end of July getting that, first Connex box on the ground, so, I definitely think it's warranted. To keep the budget in check, I put this at 50%, and put it out to staff, and as you see in the packets, Curtis came back, there, so.
Do I have a motion to approve the summer maintenance custodial position for Curtis Jansen?
I'll make a motion to approve the summer maintenance custodial position for Curtis Jansen.
I think I got a first from Lily, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Sarah seconds. Board comment? All in favor say aye. Motion carried. Rental agreement for district equipment?
Nothing in the packet, so I just have to get, I'm not comfortable just, woohoo, yeah, take our van. There was a request, whether it's relevant that it's a staff member or not, I don't know, but, I've had this in the past where, individuals could come in and, we had like a backhoe at one of our schools. And, so we would rent it out, person, had to show like a heavy equipment operator's, ability or whatever, and it allowed us to recoup some of our dollars. It is one of those things though, kinda like, once you do it, it's like, okay, or, what is it? So, yeah, they just looked in, they had some family coming in and, cost of going to pick them up, bring them back, and 2 vehicles versus 1, and stuff, so, I don't know, I'm kinda like this, pretty easy to do. I mean, I ChatGPT to rental agreement, 5 seconds, it kinda had all the stuff you'd want on it, insurance and, responsibilities and stuff like that. I can't arbitrarily, oh yeah, staff can do it, but it's just, it would we do let people use our facilities, but,
How would the insurance work on?
I would make sure that they had, collision coverage of their own. They would have to, like, when ChatGPT came, I liked it, you know, they would cover any, you know, of our deductibles or anything like that, you know, it'd be all on them. You know, then I played around with, you know, would it be like an IRS mileage charge, you know, which is 72 cents a mile these days, or would it be, you know, just a flat rate, you know, and stuff, so, I don't know, I told the person asked me it last week, and I said, hey, we got a board meeting, so would you like me to proceed, or, I'm really like,
You didn't have the original,
what's that?
you didn't print out the one that you brought?
I didn't,
Okay.
there was a lot of cleanup I wanted to do on it and change some stuff.
Discussion?
I hate hunting out vehicles.
It
I
seems
just
like
feel
a
that's massive
complicated
can of
headache
worms.
Yeah.
to deal with.
I mean, I can see during the school year, if it was like a school-related thing, like I personally did take the van to pick up 90 dozen donuts from Krispy Kreme for the sophomores last year.
Oh, yeah,
Because they would
that's
not
a
fit in my
school
car, but that was a school,
That's a school function,
thing.
yeah, no
like
brainer.
that kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah, I'm almost thinking we leave it just school functionality.
Yeah, okay, and I see, it's one of those things, it's a nice thing to do, we are going down the slippery slope if
Yeah.
we choose it,
But
so.
that's like, what about the tractor? Does someone come
That,
with the tractor? too?
well,
Like,
that's just it, is, hey, we have a paint sprayer, you know, hey, we have, you know, this.
the sprinklers, everything. I just think like that's just a headache that.
Yeah,
Wait, can it?
so, yeah, I have no trouble being the bad guy, but this is one of those things where I wanted you guys.
Blame it on us.
No, I
don't know
won't.
that that's a
I won't,
can
cause
of worms.
I 100%,
Yeah.
I 100% agree with your reservations, and it's, we also had, like when I said, like our backhoe, that was true for that piece of equipment, it was very clear, this did not include our school van, we had a bunch of vans and stuff, that didn't include those. Okay,
That's enough.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Do we wanna make a motion to say we don't lease out the school property?
To not approve?
Uh,
It just said, no,
yeah.
because it just says approve a rental
It
agreement.
would just die
Yeah.
for lack of
I'll
motion,
just say no.
because the way it's worded.
Alright, did everybody get a chance to look over the 2026-2027 school bus route? Is Marie over here for a reason?
No, I think it was just a,
I didn't know if that was like a special
We'll fix that.
yeah, well,
person.
I noticed that too, yeah.
I mean, they could stay over there, I just wasn't sure if
I
there
looked at it
was,
really quick, I didn't catch it.
I didn't know why.
No, just like a little mistake.
Nothing's changed on it.
If I could say something about,
I think that there were just some minor changes that Sarah worked with Lori and Doug on.
Okay.
And, so just to make sure that everyone was on the same page.
if I could just say something about bus routes, I don't know when door-to-door service became a thing. And I'm not saying we exactly do that, it would not be Doug or Lori, you know, it's just like, but you may have heard, we had a key fob issue, and I had to hustle down in my personal car, to Frenchtown, and I made it in just under an hour, and so I was booking, and
That would be.
and I get into the canyon, well, I don't know what to call it, but I dropped into the canyon, you know, before you hit Bonner, and I got behind the school bus, and you're on a state highway, and they're stopping at driveways, and they're, you know, you can pass a bus, but once they throw out those signs, no, it's big trouble if you do. And that was crazy that they would block, I mean, you know, 'cause in the driveway, there was no pull out there, and I'm going, that's just, you know, and I get in Missoula and I don't think pedestrians should have right of way, but it's just cause that's, dark, yeah, I'm recording, it's this thing, you know, why would, I have the right, so I have the right, so, I have the right, so I'm gonna jump out in front of that vehicle, that makes no sense to me, so. Well, but you live rurally, so you end up in Missoula, and like, why is that light flashing, and these people are flipping me out, oh, yeah, you're supposed to, cause I always forget, you know, and like, I don't, you know, so anyway, yeah, I just don't know when that became a
Any questions?
trend. Sorry, I'm over it now.
I can tell you're really upset. Just in case anybody's wondering, Copenhagen's staying on there just because of Gardner's eventually. That way they don't gotta take it off and put it back on. Just so you know. Nobody's stopping it. All right, do I have a motion to approve the 2026-2027 school bus routes?
Make a motion to approve the 26-27 school bus routes.
All right, Julie has a first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Julie seconds. Four coming?
Yeah, do we pick up anybody on high school? I thought like Barnett's were the only kids.
Isn't there, right on the corner, isn't there?
There are kids there because I've gotten stopped behind.
Okay.
I'd have to ask Doug.
I was
who
just
it is.
curious.
Who's up there now? I'll ask Doug. I've gotten stopped there before, behind him.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I don't have
I
names.
couldn't
Mhm,
think
I know.
of anybody
Yeah.
who looked.
Except for a couple of them. I just have two Tronstadt.
Yeah, oh,
The
yeah.
rest of them are
Mhm.
just off of,
Mhm.
we could probably just switch that to Abe Lincoln. I don't know, Tronstadt's what it is. Probably Tronstadt.
Out there.
All right, all here, oh, do you have,
Unless there's new kids that are coming.
right,
I don't know where they are.
all in favor say aye.
I,
Alright, motion carried. Renewal of agreement with Montana School Group. What to be, interlocal authority.
So your annual agreement.
we've been a member since 1994 and we only get a $1,600 discount.
It's like Verizon.
I know.
Thank you for being a member for
awful.
21 years. We're gonna bump you up.
I know, it's crazy. And it probably goes up about that much each year.
Yeah.
Probably.
Any questions? Discussion items?
So this is also where we took off the property at the, you know, sculpture
Yep.
park and all that stuff, and then added a few things that Derek has, purchased out, you know, that weren't on there, so. Everything's covered.
What do we have for furs?
So was it say furs on there?
Jewelry, furs, and precious metals.
It's probably more precious metals than I would say jewelry or furs.
I don't know, it says 500,000 per term, so furs.
It's probably just a standard, you know, policy that
Somebody
has
wears
that.
their fur coat to class.
Some you can't.
$500,000.
Some you can't pick and choose, you know, what you can pull in and out. Yeah.
Insurance is not fun.
I know, right?
You gotta put everything on there. Alright. Do I have a motion to renew the agreement with Montana Schools Group Interlocal Authority?
I'll make a motion to approve, or to renew the agreement with Montana Schools Group Interlocal Authority.
A motion from Julie, do I have a second?
A second.
Lydia, second. Roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's all, that was easy. Alright, it is 6:40. We have nothing else. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:40?
Can we adjourn this early? We have to go out.
I know.
I will throw a pen at you. Not with the camera on. Was that a motion, Billy?
I'll make a motion to adjourn
Thank
at
you.
6:40.
First from Sarah, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Who was that? Lydia, second? Board comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Alright, motion carries. I don't know what to do when it's not public